Hello and welcome to this presentation on the bus garage property and Qualicum Commons, hosted by the town of Qualicum Beach and Vancouver Island University. We can't join you in person today due to the COVID-19 pandemic, so we're presenting live from our homes and offices. My name is Luke Sales. I'm the town's Director of Planning. Just a short background before we get started with the presentation. In 2011, the town purchased just over half a hectare of land from the school district. And for years now, the town has been in discussions about what the future of this property would be. In 2014, after the adjacent Qualicum Beach Elementary School was closed, the building was turned into a valued hub for community services and recreation, the Qualicum Commons. With most of the school property underutilized, the opportunity to create a larger vision became apparent. If the town property and the Qualicum Commons were considered together, what would a shared vision look like? It's been a true pleasure working with faculty, staff, and students from Vancouver Island University on this project, and I look forward to hearing their presentation. Before we get started, I'd just like to take a moment to introduce and meet the presenters. Once again, my name is Luke Sales. I'm the Director of Planning.
Hello, my name is Pamela Shaw, and I'm the Director of the Master of Community Planning Program at Vancouver Island University.
Hi, I'm Selena.
I'm Felicia.
Hi, I'm Jacob.
Hi, I'm Maureen, and we are students in the Master of Community Planning program at Vancouver Island University.
I'd like to take this opportunity to give a heartfelt thank you to Mayor Weiss, Councillors Walker, Filmer, Harrison, and Westbrook, and to Qualicum Beach staff, Luke Sales and Rebecca Augustin, for inviting students from VIU to be involved in this project. I'm also grateful to the citizens of Qualicum Beach for your guidance, direction, and engagement in this project. These real-life experiential opportunities are critical to building better planners for the future, and my heartfelt thanks to all of you for helping to build this new generation.
Hello, my name is Mikobatanzo. I'm a professor at Vancouver Island University. I teach urban design and community planning in the Masters of Community Planning program. This year, my students had the opportunity to work with Qualicum Beach to prepare a visioning plan for the Qualicum Beach Commons. To do this, the students organized a number of open houses, workshops, and a survey to gain an understanding of the community's vision for this site. This input was analyzed and interpreted and forms the basis for the visioning plan that's being presented today. We'd hoped to make this presentation in person, but given the current pandemic circumstances, we hope you'll find this video suffices. With that, I thank you for working with the community planning program at Vancouver Island University. Without a doubt, the learning gained through this process has been invaluable to both myself and the students. And we think, looking at the results of this process, you'll find that the report is comprehensive, ambitious, and reflective of the community input received. As with any community visioning plan, its success and implementation depends on how well it reflects the needs of the community. This is an important site in Qualicum Beach, and it's been a privilege for myself and my students to be a part of planning its future. Thank you.
We're delving into this project and the site visions, although I'm sure many of the community members are familiar with it. We'd like to provide some additional context to the site. Centrally located in the heart of uptown Qualicum Beach, the Qualicum Commons and Bus Garage site sits between Primrose Street to the west and Memorial Avenue to the east, with Fern Road west to the north of the site. The Old Schoolhouse Arts Center, or TOSH, is located to the north of the site, with Qualicum Foods, a key local landmark, sitting adjacent along Fern Road west. The site itself is made up of 3 separate parcels of land, with the largest lot A owned by the school district and lots B and C owned by the town of Qualicum Beach. For the purpose of this vision, the site has been considered as a whole. Several key buildings in the commercial core of Qualicum Beach hold historical significance, including TOSH, which is listed on the Canadian Register of Historic Places and is located on the site in the northern portion of the town-owned lands. The second area of note is the former bus garage site on the town-owned lands. As mentioned by Luke, the town of Qualicum Beach purchased the former bus garage site in 2011. In 2018, following an assessment of the building condition, Council passed the decision to remove the old bus garage building as rehabilitation costs greatly exceeded demolition costs. The largest portion of the property on the site is owned by School District 69. The former elementary school on the site was closed in 2014 and has reopened to operate as the Qualicum Commons since 2015. Qualicum Commons now houses several services and community groups, as well as local initiatives and nonprofits. In September 2019, the town of Qualicum Beach and Vancouver Island University's Master of Community Planning program began a process to develop a vision for how the Qualicum Commons and bus garage lands could develop. A site analysis was completed in early September to examine the existing site conditions such as pedestrian activity, neighborhood context, and natural features. Public consultation kicked off with an open house, providing the public an opportunity to learn about the project and to share how they currently use the site and envision it in the future, as well as a community survey. A World Cafe and design charrettes with stakeholders and youth invited in-depth design ideas and discussion. After draft vision concepts were prepared based on community input, a second open house was held in March to invite feedback from the community. Public feedback and key takeaways from each event were incorporated into the two final visions developed and submitted in April. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 concerns, potential future in-person engagement was suspended by the town of Qualicum Beach and Vancouver Island University. As shown in the last slide, and as mentioned by Miko, 6 public consultation events have taken place to date, including 2 open houses, a World Cafe, design charrettes, and a survey. These engagement opportunities provided valuable information and input to guide the formulation of our design principles and informed our site designs. Overall, feedback from the community covered several themes: strengths of the site, features to maintain, access to the site, areas needing improvement, how residents use the site, and future visions and goals for the Qualicum Commons. The strengths of the site included its central location within the town and accessibility to the site. The existing on-site amenities, programs, and services in the Qualicum Commons and the Old Schoolhouse Arts Centre were also identified as strengths and important assets to the site. Important features to maintain included space for programming and services, the community gardens, and again, Tosh. 85% of respondents mentioned that Tosh has been a valuable facility for the arts as well as an important heritage site in the community. The survey results had shown ways community members access the site. Many drive to the site, but a large number also walk. 73% of those surveyed access the site on foot. The areas needing improvement were identified early on in the public consultation, mainly focusing on the existing open spaces, with many comments mentioning that the site could use an aesthetic uplift, especially the open field and playgrounds, and for removal of the perimeter fence. Residents currently use the site for largely 2 main reasons: parking for adjacent commercial areas and attending services and programming at Tosh and the Qualicum Commons. Finally, the main future visions participants consistently identified in all public consultation events consisted of a desire for social commercial space, cultural and entertainment space, recreational areas, walkable space, an extension of the already existing environment core, a mixed-use community, an active environment, and intergenerational space. Overall, a total of over 480 community voices contributed to the 2 site designs that were developed, which I will pass on to my colleagues to discuss further. Here's Jacob to introduce you to the site visions.
So to set the scene, the vision plans provided from this project are concepts to be used to help guide future land use decisions and aid in identifying potential future public amenities. It should be noted that these plans do not speak to specifics such as tenants or residential tenure, as these are typically market-driven, and it should also be mentioned that despite different owners, plans were made considering the 3 parcels of land as one whole. So out of our work came 2 different concept plans. Plan A, which moves the site forward without the current commons building and is more of a higher density development, and Plan B, which draws on the current design and places more emphasis on green and open space. While these 2 plans have varying densities and have relatively distinct future visions, both plans do reflect feedback from the community consultation. The plans also reflect the findings from a context analysis study that was done by the planning team, as well as general planning and urban design best practices. It should also be mentioned that the full maps of the site plans are provided in the appendix of the report, which will be provided to you through the Town of Qualicum Beach website. I will now pass it on to Felicia to provide an in-depth analysis of Site Plan A.
Thank you, Jacob. Plan A was built around the vision of enriching the existing vibrant community through developing the Qualicum Commons land in a way that respects the community's history while preparing the town for future housing and recreational needs. Sustainability is incorporated into the site through environmental considerations as well as through social sustainability. To implement this vision, we outlined 5 design principles derived from the consultation process, the existing form and character of the town, and urban design best practices covered in class. These principles were then used to ground the creative process for Plan A and include build housing, make it diverse. We want to prioritize housing affordability and diversity of building type and tenure so to address the community's basic need for shelter in a built form that respects the surrounding neighborhood. Residential densities were designed to complement the existing neighborhood, beginning with a single-family housing development in the southwest corner, graduating in density relative to proximity to the commercial area. Sustainability with impact. Expanding the community gardens, building housing within the community's core, opting for green infrastructure such as rain gardens, and creating opportunities for social interactions and healthy lifestyles, this plan aims to add to the town's existing momentum towards building sustainable community resilience. Strengthen the existing grid street network. Qualicum Beach has an excellent grid street network. This plan builds off of this feature via 2 new east-west roads that connect to existing streets. Grid street networks create efficient use of land, are very legible, and allow for diversity in choice travel routes. To encourage connections across the site, we propose a north-south active corridor that prioritizes walking and cycling. All sidewalks are interlaced with landscaping and trees to soften the hard paved edges and make walking the preferred way to experience the town. Accommodate existing valued places. This vision strives to respect the valued places on the site, such as Tosh, the community gardens, and Qualicum Commons. Currently, Tosh acts like a magnet, drawing people to the site. It serves as a central point from which to build public space and connect across the site. A rebuilt Qualicum Commons building could accommodate the organizations currently serving the community from the former elementary school, but a more efficient 2-story building adjacent to an expanded community garden. Gathering space. Through this vision, we hope to create the community's outdoor living room by creating places to gather, shop, enjoy the sun, and take in the view. The goal is to create active and well-used community garden spaces that help support the local economy, encourage human relationships and social connections while building a community spirit. In implementing these design principles, we developed a site plan, which I'll now go into in more detail, beginning with the upper third of the site along Fern Road West. Here we propose a building form that replicates the existing commercial core with frequent and active entrances and doorways to generate interest and create a walkable and enjoyable pedestrian experience. Buildings will be mixed use, meaning ground floor commercial businesses will have residential condos for sale above. Higher residential density increases activity, improves safety of downtown commercial streets, and increases profitability of the development in order to offset costs for public amenities. Various gathering spaces are featured, including a plaza space that takes advantage of Mount Arrowsmith views and adds to the existing activity at Tosh and the anticipated commercial businesses. To balance the demand for parking and public space, a flexible parking plaza area is proposed in the design. This flexible space can convert from parking stalls to an open public space, allowing the community to make the most out of this centrally located site. Moving on to the central third of the site that sits between the 2 new roads that connect to the town's existing grid structure. The community center is intended to house the existing organizations currently operating in the Qualicum Commons in an energy-efficient 2-story building. A multi-sport court and expanded community gardens will connect the community center to residences to the south and east of the site. The north-south active corridor acts as a pedestrian and cyclist-friendly connector that runs along the center of this third. Landscaping and seating accompanies the bike lane and wide sidewalks to promote activity, gathering, and connection. These amenities are located adjacent to the multifamily development, making them features for residents. A sense of ownership and pride from residents over the sport court and community garden will encourage safe and positive use of these spaces. The apartment buildings, which have underground parking, are designed around a common courtyard area to encourage interactions amongst the residents. Focusing now on the southern third of the site, it has been divided into 2 main areas. with townhouses to the southwest and sixplexes to the southeast. The townhouses have been designed amongst paths and green space meant to encourage walking and community connection. Similarly, the sixplexes share a common parking area to allow the buildings to be connected by internal green space. Despite the diversity of the different proposed housing types across the site, each residential area was created using a clustered design intended to strengthen the social fabric of the neighborhood block. Residential densities are context sensitive, balancing the need for diverse housing with a built form that fits in with the surrounding neighborhood, while considering the financial viability of various density scenarios. Highlighted here on the southern third, but present in various iterations across the site, are rain gardens to manage stormwater, a key sustainability initiative. Other initiatives in this plan include local food production through the expanded community garden, multifunctional vegetation including pollinator and water-safe plants, and opportunities for social interactions and healthy lifestyles. This vision was refined following Open House 2 by retaining the grove of trees at the corner of Fern Road West and Primrose Street, expanding the community garden space, adding a plaza space to optimize views to Mount Aerosmith, and creating a connection to the site directly from the Memorial Avenue and Fern Road West intersection. This vision strives to reflect the community's desire for the site to provide public gathering opportunities and natural areas. I'll now hand over to Jacob to give us an overview of Plan B.
Thanks, Felicia. So the comprehensive vision surrounding what we were calling Site Plan B is to create a space that really complements the already vibrant community core and offers increased safe access between neighborhoods and key amenities and services. So this vision offers what you could call an open space oasis within this growing community and would also provide a space that could facilitate community programming, intergenerational engagement, and healthy living. This site would allow residents to live, shop, and play all within walking distance of the site and encourage residents and visitors alike to spend more time in the heart of the community. Like with Plan A, there were a number of design principles that helped to guide the decisions we made on how we designed the site. The first principle being multi-generational. Our team really believes that with different types of housing on site and with spaces for programming and activities, this site really has the potential to bring residents of all ages together and provide opportunities for diverse social engagement. A number of features in the site as well, such as the community gardens and the commons building, really have the potential to be productive multi-generational spaces and spaces which can help to build community relations. The second principle is connectivity. So this relates to how the site would fit in with its existing surroundings and how residents outside the site would utilize and engage with the space. In this plan, active transportation corridors are crucial and would not only be connecting amenities and features within the site, but would also be connecting to the commercial core and to the residential areas to the south and west and north of the site. The pathways would be tailored to both pedestrians and cyclists and would offer safe routes for children, seniors, and families. The third principle is active space. So this space can really become a place where residents can be physically active, mentally active, and socially engaged. This particular site design would help to facilitate healthy living and offer a place where current programs and activities could be expanded. Of course, when creating public space that is tailored towards social activity, this really helps to create that community hub and that community core feel. Principle 4 is green space. So numerous studies have shown that parks within built-up areas can improve physical and psychological health. And for those living on site, instead of having to drive to a distant location to experience green space, it would be right at their front door. This green space would offer somewhat of an open canvas, if you will, for social opportunity and recreation. Of course, we know that with green space, it always helps to make communities more livable places and can help in attracting visitors to the area. The fifth and final principle is mixed-use space. So this design would allow residents to live, shop, and play all within or in walking distance of the site, helping to build a comprehensive community space. It would allow residents living on-site direct access to commercial amenities and services without the need to use a vehicle. And it would really be a space that would complement the existing core where residents and visitors alike would be encouraged to spend more time in the heart of Qualicum Beach, really supporting local business and accessing the growing array of services and opportunities that the community has to offer. So in the next section, Maureen will go in to talk about how we incorporated these key principles into Site Plan B.
Thank you, Jacob. Site design for Plan B intends to retain the existing character of the neighborhood while providing increased amenities, housing, and social gathering space. This plan concentrates commercial, cultural, and higher density residential land uses to the north of the site, while transitioning through community and recreational spaces towards medium and low density housing to the south of the site. First, I'll go over the north section of the site plan. Design for the north area of the site proposes mixed-use developments to maintain the existing commercial corridor along Fern Road West. This includes a new building at the northeast corner of the site with ground floor commercial and second floor residential, with provisions for a large setback allowing for pedestrian-focused space and a natural green buffer to separate pedestrians from vehicle traffic. The northwest corner of the site would feature another mixed-use building with ground floor commercial and 1 to 2 floors of above-ground residential with underground parking. Condos are proposed here because they are a suitable housing option for people of all ages, as specified by those who participated in open house. Located behind both mixed-use buildings are public parking lots that serve the existing and future needs of the site. No changes would be made to Tosh, but the area around the building would be altered to create a pedestrian-focused plaza space with seating, tables, and covered areas for greater public use of the site. South of the plaza is a proposed covered pavilion that can serve as a space for year-round activities while preserving the existing view corridor to the west. The open space plaza area around Tosh and the pavilion could play host to seasonal events with potential to attract people from different areas such as the commercial core, proposed on-site residential units, and nearby neighborhoods. The middle portion of the site focuses on enhancing community gathering places, providing housing, preserving parkland, and increasing accessibility. The plan proposes renovations to the existing Qualicum Commons and the addition of a new connecting building to the south. This would allow existing businesses and groups to continue using the building while adding room for more programming in a multi-purpose community-oriented space. Parking lot would be added south of this community space to serve the Qualicum Commons and public areas of the site. Townhomes fronting green space are proposed for the east side of the site. This plan has dedicated much of the central area of the site to parkland, which would include improved landscaping along with a community garden, playground, and pedestrian infrastructure. The existing community garden would double in size and would have the potential for growth that could serve more residents and accommodate future needs. A playground is proposed near the community gardens to provide enjoyment for children that is convenient and safely located away from vehicle traffic. Safe pathways with access to the community garden, playground, plaza area, and public parking are included to make the site more accessible and provide greater connectivity. Pathways along the perimeter of the parkland area and corridors connecting adjacent neighborhoods to the site offer safe routes for children, families, and the elderly. Vegetation lining proposed pedestrian and cyclist routes offer shading and a natural buffer to help increase the privacy of the townhome units. The south area of the site includes residential land use and public space to fit the surrounding neighborhood. Townhomes along the south of the site front onto the parkland area and would be a similar style to the townhomes on the east. Private visitor parking lot and a lane behind the townhomes would provide residents and their guests with parking and vehicle access. Single-family homes and a duplex are proposed for the southmost part of the site to complement the residential form and character in this area. I'll now pass the presentation to Luke Sales to discuss the next steps for this project.
So that's a wrap for today's presentation on the future of the bus garage property and Qualicum Commons. Thank you to the team from Vancouver Island University for their excellent work. They've certainly given us a lot to think about. Next step for the project will be for the landowners, the town of Qualicum Beach and School District 69, to consider the options in this report and to set a plan moving forward. We will certainly need more feedback from the public and hope that you stay engaged and informed as this proceeds. To read the complete report on the Qualicum Commons and Bus Garage final report, and for additional up-to-date information, please visit the website on your screen here. You can also scan that QR code if you're up with that technology. So once again, a sincere thank you to Vancouver Island University, School District 69, Mayor, Council, staff, and the entire Qualicum Beach community for your support throughout this process. Stay safe and stay strong.